Okay. YouTube is working. Alright, you don't need to see my face. So we're going to turn all this off real quick because I'm just running a... I was trying to show Ty or any other prospective streamers how to set up this feature in OBS here. Let me mess with this real quick. We do have capture cursor on. Okay, so if you go into settings, these are going to be like your main settings for the quality of your stream overall. I'm currently streaming with Restream. You don't need to worry about all this too much. Just select your platform, punch in your server. All that stuff's pretty easy. A lot of times there'll be different types of fields depending on the service you're streaming to, but Restream or OBS is pretty good about you just select which one you're going to be streaming on from this drop down menu, and then you plug in your stream key or select the server. A lot of times it'll be on auto, and that'll be just fine. This is a little harder to show you because I am currently using this PC to stream. So we're going to use my other PC here to show you what to do now that it updated. So I don't even know why I brought this up. So we're going to go to this. You can see this is starting up, and then we're going to run OBS on here because it'll be a lot easier to show you what I'm doing. Text Ty. It's going to be a little test broadcast. Okay. So that's all fine for now. So these are going to be your main settings. So if you go to output, you're probably going to want to be in simple, because the advanced only really helps if you're using GPU processing, but with a lot of things you're probably just going to be using CPU. I have my video bitrate set to 4K bytes per second. Software encoder 246. That's what you're going to want to use for CPU streaming. Audio bitrate. You can actually adjust this quite a bit, and it shouldn't matter too much, but I would start off in the 128 range, and you can tweak this a little bit if your bit rate is getting funky. All right, this is where it gets important for tweaking for slower computers. You're going to want to start in the faster range, or if you have like a lower end piece of hardware, you're going to want to go with either super fast or very fast and kind of work your way up from there until you start seeing a smoother output. Video, this is another big one. I wish they had a 15 value, but you're going to want to try and run about 30 frames per second. You can try and run 60, but especially on lower end hardware, you're going to want to try and go with 30 or lower. Plus, your eye can't really tell the difference, especially if you're just trying to stream and get content out there. And then I have Bicubic, which is probably like the best mid-range option. If this one isn't working for you, another thing you can try and do is adjust this to bilinear, which they say this one, it says exactly what it is. Basically, it's the fastest, which means it's going to be less processing on your CPU, but it's going to be a little blurry in scaling and have like a little bit of artifacting. And then this, you probably want to go with 1280 by 720. you want to try and make these the same again, so that just so there's no scaling. If it gives you the option, I would try and go with 480 if 1080 and 720 are not working out for you. But like, for example, on a lower end piece of hardware, I'd set it to probably these settings or these settings. And then for low end hardware again, I would probably put it at one of these three. Start here and move your way up until you start seeing good stream output. And always remember to like check your stream on your phone or in a web browser, because OBS is going to show you what it looks like ideally, like the best it could possibly render. But when it gets sent out and encoded on the internet, then it gets a little more tricky. So again, another thing I would mess with on a lower end PC, maybe set that down to like 3,000 kilobytes. And then turn this down to like 96 or 64. And you're going to want to have enabled advanced encoder settings. And there's not too much more you want to mess with for just having, for just setting up OBS. So I hope this was helpful in trying to get you a smooth stream. Alright, you guys, I am going to end the stream here real quick so I can start up my game. I'm going to play some Warzone, grind for prestige. Max prestige, I should say.